When the people demanded a king, they thought they'd get power, but what they got was chaos, jealousy, and a whole lot of regret. Israel's tribal system was falling apart. People were doing whatever they wanted. God was still around, but no one was really listening. Today we're in 1 Samuel. It kicks off with Hannah, desperate to have a kid. Turns out she's the only one who actually is walking with God. She gets Samuel, who grows up to be a prophet and a judge, one of the last voices of reason before everything goes sideways. Then the people start begging for a king, not because they want righteousness, just because they want to be like everyone else. God gives them Saul, tall, impressive, and completely unready. He crashes fast. Meanwhile, God already picked someone else, David, a teenage shepherd with patience and a backbone. Saul spirals, David gets hunted, and somehow God keeps working through the chaos. This book isn't a heroic arc. It's the messy fallout of people getting exactly what they asked for. This whole thing starts off with one woman crying in a temple while everyone else ignores her. The priest, Eli, sees her praying and just assumes she's drunk. Real attentive guy. She makes a deal with God. If you give me a son, I'll give him back to you. She gets her son, Samuel, which means God heard, and she follows through, drops him off at the temple to serve under Eli. Here's the problem. Eli's checked out. His sons are stealing sacrifices, sleeping around. Eli does nothing. God's done with their whole line. Meanwhile, Samuel's a kid, sleeping in the temple, and God literally calls his name. No one's heard God in years, and now the first message is, Eli's house is finished. Then the Philistines attack. Israel freaks out and brings out the Ark of the Covenant like a good luck charm. It doesn't help. They lose. Eli's sons die. Eli hears the news, falls over, breaks his neck, and dies. Philistines take the Ark back and put it next to their idol, Dagon. The next day, Dagon's face down. Day after that, Dagon's head and hands are missing. Then the plagues start. They send the Ark back, fast. Samuel steps up, judges Israel, calls out sin, leads well. But when he's old, his sons turn out just like Eli's. And the people say, we want a king like the other nations. Translation, we're tired of waiting for God. We want something we can see. Samuel might have been the last guy who actually listened to God before politics took over. He looked like a king. That was basically the last good thing anyone said about him. Saul, son of Kish, tall, handsome, and that's about it. God picks him. Samuel anoints him. Saul's totally overwhelmed. Hides when it's time to crown him. Early on, he's all right. Wins a battle, people cheer. Samuel warns him, stick with God or you're finished. Saul nods, but ignores it. The next battle, Philistines show up. Saul's supposed to wait for Samuel to offer the sacrifice. He panics and does it himself. Samuel shows up mid-burn and goes, you just blew your shot at a dynasty. Strike one. Later, God tells Saul to wipe out the Amalekites. It's justice for something they did to Israel long ago. But Saul half-steps it. Keeps the king alive, spares the best sheep. Samuel arrives. Did you do what God said? Yep. Then why do I hear sheep? Saul blames the people, then says it was for sacrifices, then finally admits it. Too late. Samuel lays it out. God's done with you. You're out. Then it drops. The Lord regretted making Saul king. There's no coming back from that. Saul had the crown, but he never trusted God. He trusted his own fear. This story is brought to you by Wayfarers Loreworks, the sacred art studio behind every image you see. And now, for the first time, these illustrations are available for purchase. Each piece is a visual relic, forged from scripture, steeped in legend, crafted to carry awe into your home. Explore and collect at wayfarerschase.com. See the scripture, frame the legend. While Saul's melting down, God already picked someone else, and no one knows it yet. God sends Samuel to Bethlehem, to Jesse's house. One of his sons is the next king. Samuel sees the oldest, tall, impressive, thinks, that's gotta be him. God shuts it down. I'm not picking by looks, I look at the heart. They go through all the sons, nothing. Turns out the youngest, David, is out with the sheep. They call him in. God says, him. Samuel anoints him. Quiet, no crowd, no big moment. So now there's two kings, Saul, public, David, hidden. Meanwhile, Saul's unraveling. God's spirit leaves him. A dark spirit starts bothering him. His people suggest music. They hire David. David plays harp, calms Saul. Saul likes him, for now. Then Goliath shows up. This 9-foot tank mocks Israel for 40 days. No one steps up. David's visiting his brothers with food and goes, why is this guy still breathing? He tells Saul, I'll handle it. No armor, just a sling. He takes down lions and bears. This is just another one. He hits Goliath in the forehead with a rock, drops him, cuts his head off, crowd goes wild, but then the women sing. Saul killed thousands, David tens of thousands. Saul snaps, throws spears at David twice, sends people to kill him. David runs, hides, writes psalms in caves. Even when he gets the chance, twice, he refuses to kill Saul. He won't touch the king, even though he's the better man. David didn't force anything. He just waited, even when it cost him everything. Saul starts out unsure. He ends up paranoid, desperate, and alone on a battlefield. By the end, Saul's wrecked. God's silent, Samuel's dead, and he's out of options. So he disguises himself and visits a witch in Endor. Tells her, call up Samuel. She does. Samuel's ghost shows up, and he's not happy. He says, you're dying tomorrow, you and your sons. That's exactly what happens. Philistines attack. Saul's sons, including Jonathan, David's best friend, are killed. Saul gets hit, asks his armor bearer to finish him. The guy freezes, so Saul falls on his own sword. That's how Israel's first king dies. David hears the news and doesn't gloat, doesn't move in. He breaks. He mourns. For Jonathan, for Saul. Even after everything, there's no victory here, just death, grief, and a throne no one's sitting on. 1 Samuel is what happens when people want control more than they want God. Hannah prays, Samuel listens, but the people demand a king. God gives them Saul, and boy does Saul blow it. Panics, disobeys, falls apart. David's the opposite. He waits, he obeys, even when it gets him hunted and homeless. This isn't just history. We still do this. We chase status. We want visible power. We want what looks strong, but it fails every time. Saul is a warning. Don't lead from fear. David is a glimpse. Hold steady, trust God's timing, and both point forward to a better king, one who's born in Bethlehem, one who doesn't flinch, one who finishes what others couldn't. Pray for me, and I for you. Keep looking up. If this hit you deeper than expected, there's more. Check the full playlist to follow the story, from Genesis to Revelation, book by book, breath by breath. Subscribe if you haven't, and share it with someone who needs to hear this story. This is a very long road, and we're just getting started.